Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dicey Dungeons. Let's continue. Alright, so I just played The Witch. That was absolutely awful. Simply a boss fight with some super difficult puzzles, which this game has really not been about puzzles. Random dice rolls, very, very different from like very specific dice rolls towards a puzzle solution. Basically the exact opposite. It turns the game from being more of a random strategy experience where you do your best based on a random dice roll into a pure strategy puzzle game. And yeah, it really sapped a lot of ambition out of me as far as just wanting to even finish this game, so I want to hurry on. We only have 2 more levels. The robot here is at the same difficulty level, so I am scared, to say the least, that this might just give us even more puzzles. Now my note tells me that you're continuing to strive for improvement every day. How's that working out? Better and better. I learned German and now I'm consolidating and extending that work by using a German textbook to teach myself Korean. It's very efficient. And you've come back to the dungeons because I think I came across a bit weird last time and I hadn't really understood how the editing process might work. I thought this might be a chance to seem more normal. Aww. I see. Well, good luck seeming normal by voluntarily entering a never-ending maze of impossible dungeons and fighting a series of terrible monsters. Thank you, I feel very prepared. I've rewatched all the old episodes and polished up on my tactics. No. How impressive. So it would be terribly inconvenient if I took your dice away and replaced them with coins, I imagine. Wait, what? So, like, this is an interesting twist, certainly, as far as flipping coins, heads and tails, but honestly, should have been a twist that would have happened much earlier in the game. Honestly, you could have had a level 1 character with coins. So you flip. Here you get heads or tails, tails being the stars, heads being the picture of Lady Luck. And then we need 2 matches to do this. When do you glitch out? I guess is the question. Do you glitch out when you go over the target of heads or tails? Let's see. Need silver, do 1 damage, convert to gold. What does that do? So, you can't do that with gold. And then you can match that to win. I guess that works on the idea of randomization. And 50-50 odds versus 20% odds of getting a specific dice if the dice rolls are fair. Let's see, flip a coin if heads do 8 damage. And then we'll just take 4 damage there. I could not possibly care about what any of these characters have to say. So you still get regular shopping coins, or maybe the regular shopping coins are your coins. I think they are your coins, so instead of dice. So if you spend anything shopping, you reduce the number of your coins you have, so there's a dangerous chance in that. Okay. Gave 2 shield to the guy. Now 2 gold coins in the pea shooter seems not to do anything extra. And your opponents are still just rolling dice, so they definitely didn't rethink this completely, so there must be a fairly small collection of pieces of equipment that you could get. Let's see. If we were to come into this, you basically would, you could spin 3 coins here and then you would have no coins to flip. Which means purchasing anything is not worth it. Yes, you do error out, which I assumed that was the case. So what happens when we blind? Do we get blind anything? Let's just do guaranteed 8 damage. Yeah. Add a heads to the CPU counter, return a coin to the CPU counter. I don't know what that means. Return a coin to the CPU counter. Keep a coin for next turn. Do 4 damage on gold, do another 4 damage. Well, at least that is something. We'll get rid of pea shooter. Okay. So you do this. You do this. Return a coin to the CPU counter. Okay, I see what it does. It reduces that. We now have this illuminate stash coins for next turn ability. Yeah. And then end of turn. That was the best way to play, I'm sure. Feels like there's a real chance here, though, that you would, like, not have any healing abilities. So taking damage can be particularly dangerous, I imagine. Alright, if I was to do this, we can make this smaller, which is probably your best bet. That does get me down to 2 coins. Let's save this upgrade for later. Probably needed to move my equipment around a little bit too. But having 2 coins here, I guess doesn't really have anything to... The shopping coins, which are depicted completely differently, are, I guess, yeah, I guess they are just completely disconnected, because you've got this whole thing. I guess the move would have been to not save the silver and instead save the gold. So I guess I can just shop in peace, and it just doesn't matter. Right. Okay. I kind of know this is a tails. Yeah. I guess it's fine to just glitch out at that point. I mean, it's not great, but... yeah, you're just not gonna unblind things. So we know that's the tails. Live wire do 8 damage at a random status, but it needs gold. Right. Bring pea shooter back into the mix. Unless we were going to do live wire plus other things. Any gold on market crash? I'll take market crash now, even though I probably should wait. Okay. Heads to do 4. Another heads to flip a coin to do that. Do we need to hold on to a head? No. We'll go ahead and do pea shooter again. Then I glitched out a bunch of stuff. And I could have just used Fury. And probably done much better as far as my health. Oh well, I guess we'll use Fury next time. Heads do 5 damage on gold, we use this. Bear Claw needs triples. Immune to errors. Yeah, let's take immune to errors. And we will do this. If it's immune to errors, couldn't I just constantly flip dice? I think I could. Unless you can't flip dice until after a certain point. So yeah, you can't continue to roll dice. Toxic, when you use any equipment, you inflict 1 poison on yourself, but Bear Claws does carry over. So... okay. Fury. Do 8 damage twice. And glitch out. Four damage there. I don't know why I'm wasting time here. I could just do 4 damage there. Take that food, so we're not in a terrible position. Gain 1 shield, 3 uses per turn, immune to errors. Needs equal matches, which honestly would be easier since it's only heads or tails. Or hex as a weaken or strengthen. We probably should spend and use the coins. To the point where there's an argument to certainly buying like 2 of these. So let's do that. And then money back guarantee and hex. Right. These are both just apples. Move on to the fight. So heads here. Flip this again. Do one more. Do one more. So heads would be a weaken, tails would be a shock. Shock would be better. Do this. Put this here, I guess. Flip that. Turn that into a gold, which doesn't really do anything. What's funny is it says place a coin to release the shock in that case, but actually he's still using dice, so the wording clearly is not optimized. So dice that are on fire that would cost 2 health. Let's just do that. Since it was going to burn all the dice anyways. Do that. Bail out, auto roll immediately. There's 7. 7 stars. 7 tails. Sounds like a ridiculously large amount for something that would just get you a jackpot, which then maybe gives you a bunch of gold, which I guess if you had things that synergized on gold that'd be helpful, but we don't have enough items that really do synergize on gold, so I think that would be a mistake. That. Do that. Do that. That. You either keep this and hope for gold to do another 4, or you just use it. It just makes a lot more sense to use it. And while that would have worked for me in that case, it wouldn't have worked any further. And I can't continue to roll once you've hit that jackpot, so you're only going to get 1 anyways. The best way this would work as far as the jackpot would be to gamble to the most and just flip all of the coins and not use any of them. And I guess if we're going to play that way, then you probably need a just massive amount of confidence. Like, Now would be the time to do this, this, this. Then you kind of can hope for something like this. Guess we're safe enough to just take on the Kraken first, and then we'll see what the trades are. It does seem like it flips up and down between 5 as far as heads or tails, and I assume I have like 5 coins right now, and that's why the target is 5, so that the more coins I potentially have, the like better. I guess it's probably better to just do that, yeah. 1 shield or triples. Let's just gain his shield. Curse and shocked. Not terrible, not really great, but not terrible. Now he's going to confuse me and do some damage. Well, this is going to cause some problems. We'll do with heads to start with, we know which one that is. That worked pretty well for confuse, but not great. Gonna haunt 2 dice, or in this case haunt 2 coins. I guess that's where you really draw the line here, is that once you do introduce the idea of changing the dice into coins, you've got to rewrite all of your dialogue. Just take a couple shields. Let's see. Again, we have confuse. We're figuring out which is which. Don't care what he has to say. Full health refill and an extra CPU, which our CPU is at level 6, so it doesn't have anything to do with our coinage. Coin toss versus needs a match to inflict 4 poison, reusable. I might have taken this deal if the opponent, if I could have gotten the achievement to get 30 poison, but since you can't get that achievement, I'm gonna say no. We only have 1 more floor, so we're going through this fairly quickly, too. Okay. Flip, 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 flip. activate Fury and just start with 16 damage. Then do 4 damage here. Then potentially do 8 damage or give shield. Then do that. Alright. It gives you a gold. And then end turn. And that's probably the safer way to play, but certainly it doesn't let you really use the jackpot aspect very well. Burning and re-rolling dice. Let's see, that was burn 3. And they're all 3 tails. 8 damage there. 4 damage there. Still really isn't changing that much. See, savings account, put in 3 heads, return 4 heads. I guess maybe if you jackpotted on that, then you would have 4 heads, but we don't even really need that. Maybe if I could upgrade Livewire, that might make some sense. I really don't like the items that we've run into as far as equipment, but they're not terrible. I definitely question, however, just how many of these pieces of equipment actually would exist, or alright, let's see. Heads to weaken. And then we'll play that, and that, and that. So now we're confused. Which that doesn't really mean anything, it just means play to figure out what things are. Yeah, we just glitched. So we'll just take another armor. Not number shield. Flip, don't know what it is, who cares? Flip. See if that's a heads, no it isn't. Play that. Flip. Flip again. And then just win. That'll be a 2 shield. Whatever. We will win here then. Take on the Rat King to get to the food first. Then we'll take on the Gargoyle last. Yeah. I guess the best move would be to do that, then roll and see what happens. With 4 dice though, he's obviously going to be able to do his Poison Crown several times. 4 poison, he's is not nothing. You see, that's about as good as you can get, or you can then just do that. You can do that. And you can do that. Then you get to a jackpot, and then you turn these 4 into gold. And then do 8 damage there. And then just do 8 damage there. Compared to the puzzles, these are downright easy challenges. It doesn't even hurt you to just take the food here, because you're going to get a full health refill after this victory anyways. I guess mostly you might want to just hold on to the Fury. And noticeably I hit Y and it stuttered there. See if I can weaken, that would probably be nice. Although I probably should have done something else. Yeah. Dagger Eyes minus now only doing 2 damage instead of blinding. Again, though, I don't know if blinding really makes that big of a deal. It didn't really even make that big of a deal in the main game. I don't know how something got locked. Doesn't feel like it should have been locked. Right. Flip that. Flip that. That's the best I can do this turn. Oh, the rock pick locks on a 6, so that's how I got a dice locked. Okay. Flip a coin. Do 8 damage. And just win this way. No reason to make this go any longer. Double attack damage for the rest of the turn as far as Angel Investor or upgrade equipment. I think upgrading equipment makes a lot more sense. Needs triples reusable. Gain that. Let's see what's in our backpack. Live Wire needs gold, does 8 damage and adds a random status. Pea Shooter does 4 damage. This would need 6. 3 heads instead of 2 heads. Piggy bank. I'm not sure which one I really would want to upgrade here. I think we'll just go with Plasma Blaster. And then that creates a different situation here. Let's take Nest Egg, since we can. While we're at it, let's take this too. Then let's see what Hollywood Accounting does. 3 heads inflicts Vanish versus Nest Egg. Contains an upgraded item, keep going. So I almost wonder if you could have upgraded this even more. We'll put Hex instead of insurance policy. We do still have gold coins that we can't do anything with. Long walk to the boss fight. And again, I just don't care what they have to say. Okay. It says heads contains an upgraded item. Keep going. Start with that. Tails contains an upgraded item. Keep going. Do I want to do guaranteed 10 damage now? With Fury? Sure. Insider trading duplicated coin. Great. Okay. So now when we duplicate a head here, we will have 2 gold heads. Which didn't really do too much for us. Maybe I should have duplicated the silver, didn't use jackpot twice to do 1 more damage. Really wouldn't have changed too much there. He's just going to increase the burning cost each turn. Okay. Let's see. Duplicate that. Do that. Do that. Then just end the turn there. I think that was a pretty great way to play. Particularly since of the coin flip aspect here. Yeah, it kind of makes some sense. So you burn this, you activate Fury, you do this, and he's down to 2. Then you just do this for 4 and win. And that was less than 40 minutes. How was that? Exhilarating. And what about your quest to come across well in the edit? I think I've got a decent chance. I'm being open about my vulnerabilities, and my understanding is that that can be very relatable. Gosh, just imagine wanting to be relatable, when instead you could be feared and adored. And that's just like it. Alright, well, since this is a 2 difficulty, and since I have no interest whatsoever in, like, coming back and playing the main game again, which, by the way, I still have this bonus round fight that if I was going to start a new game would lose this fight, but I'm at 12 health of 40, so there's just no way I'd ever win. So I'll just abandon that, just to show. Yeah. I just absolutely have no interest in trying for the rest of these achievements. They're too difficult, they're not worth the time, they're too frustrating. Playing the game over and over again. The save editor in this game does not help you really as far as getting achievements, which is fair enough. It would be kind of crazy for a game to just let you edit your file and then claim the achievements, which would be the really only motivating factor that I would have to make me want to continue playing. And if I'm playing a game just to get achievements on Steam, that's a really, really dumb reason. That being said, it does seem like the Inventor is going to be fairly easy, so maybe we can rush through this and just be done with this series. My ingenious Inventor, the last of our returning champions, excited to be back. Yeah, definitely. I've actually been building a miniature model of the dungeons in my shed, so it's great to get another look at the real thing.
No.
Gracious, like a dollhouse? More like a model railway. I got all the stages and the levels moving around and everything. It all makes so much sense now. Since my dungeons, they make sense to you? Yeah. Do you want to see the blueprints I drafted? I have them here somewhere. I don't think I do, my love. I think I want to see you battle unending chaos like of which you have never witnessed before, to unseat you from your brazen overconfidence. So let's get started. So I almost expected that with every step there would be a glitch effect and the floor would randomize, but that really wouldn't change too much. It could be that the floor might randomize after each fight, but even that wouldn't really change much, because the floors changing have nothing to do with the gameplay mechanics here. Max 4. Minimum 4. Let's just start with this. And then this. And then we'll... What's the 3 at the top right have to mean? Is that the number of times you can use the items, or something else? Okay. So do 5 damage. Do 3 damage here. Yeah, there's a certain minimum number of uses that you can use either in total or per turn, which for the inventor, since he doesn't seem to have inventions this time, that would make some sense, is that you're going to just constantly run out of items. Okay, let's just do that to win. So the floor doesn't change, but the number of uses of items changes, which probably makes an argument towards not playing every single person if you can avoid them. 4-8 versus 4-2. So that's just gone, and now we have a total different item that just shows up, which that's actually a way better situation than what I thought it was going to be. I thought we were actually going to have to get the equipment. So then this tells me that we're not even going to get equipment. So yeah, this is going to be pretty simple. If anything, what we're going to get is equipment slots. Let's see, do that. Reroll, reroll, reroll. 8 chance of damage, but 50% backfire in the turn. And they're doing the trick-or-treat Halloween attack here. Instead of the steal runaway attack. So yes, we have now a new empty slot. And yeah, that's how that's gonna work. Okay. So we need to let's see, probably do focus now. Then duplicate this. Then duplicate this. Then duplicate that. Go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. And then I could do 12 damage here, or I could do 9 damage and burn 2 dice. and help get rid of this item, which we don't really want. Yeah, you're not going to get rid of items until you have that next step happen. Let's see. Taking damage now would be fine. Just attack with something low. Ideally, I think I want to upgrade equipment. I'm hoping that upgrades the slot. But I'm not sure if it does. So upgrading equipment may have been really a mistake. Let's see. Do this, do this. We won't find out until later. Yeah, doing 15 damage to myself is insane. Okay. 3 damage. 4, 8, 11. I guess you turn that into that. And then that. So, trick or treat plus kale smoothie needing doubles. I will definitely take that deal, since that was an upgraded item for an upgraded item. We will take all the health here. We just gotta play a lot better, but that's not that big of a deal. Okay. Do 5 damage, burn 1 dice. Reroll, I guess, this, and then reroll this, and I guess we'll do this, and then do this. Focus would give us all 6s. So, we almost certainly can get this kale smoothie to increase our max health by 3 at some point. I guess the move here is to look for a 1, because then we can just play that otherwise. Move on. We want to get rid of this. Now we just have a bear trap. Reroll this, reroll this, reroll this. Do that and that. It does seem like all this equipment are in very specific categories. If something costs 1, you're only going to get an equipment that costs 1 to replace it. If something costs an even, then you're only going to get an even to replace it. On 4, return the dice with the quarterstaff. Okay. Do that. And do that again. And then I guess it just comes down to re-rolling. get rid of that. This is easy. Tabula rasa, scrap all cards, backstab, add 1 attack each item used on each item used each turn. Could that be a lot? No, I mean you really have only 3. Okay. So we'll replace that with that. Let's see. An empty slot or an upgrade. If we were to go for an upgrade, neither one of these would take up less space. So I'm gonna buy an empty slot and put it where Evil Laugh is and where Bear Trap is. And then we'll do this fight. Okay. Scrap all cards on an even. Or start with this. Do I want to do more fire damage? Let's see what... No, I can't do scrap all cards until we get rid of the Kale Smoothie. So... let's do that first. Alright, so this could go a couple different directions. There we go. Do that. Do that. Now we have a magic hat. Do 3 damage and duplicate the cards. Or reroll. Reroll. Come on, give me an even number. Alright, we've got to scrap all the cards now. And that worked, I think, fairly well. Let's see. Maybe not the greatest. And maybe we don't need to keep Tabula Rasa in the mix, but we'll see. Okay. 2 odds on Winter Solstice. Equal 9, can't do that. We can do this. Then we can re-roll. I mean, I guess you might as well put a dice in there, even though it probably isn't going to work and stick around for the next turn, but we'll see. Okay. These are all burnt. She has 7 health. Should I use focus now? Should I just do something like that? Okay. So we're short enough to upgrade. Lucky 7 could turn into grindstone increase all equipment durability by 1? Sure, why not? We might find a nice mix of things. Meanwhile, we'll just take health and move to the next floor. We do still have stuff to do. Yeah, I have to remind myself I'm trying to kind of rush through this all. Okay. Guess the question is, do I really care about any of these cards? No. So, change all of those. Deal 5 damage, freeze 2 dice. 3 damage and flip it upside down. Or 3 damage and return it. And then do this again to flip it upside down, to return it, to return it. Yep. Yeah, you can actually win pretty easily on some of this. I don't want to put in the empty slot quite yet because we're short an item. We could do this into split a dice into 2 on 6 inflict a random status. That is probably a fine deal to take. I don't think taking deals really matters that much. We'll give ourselves the opportunity to use the let's see. Freeze spell to freeze them. Then should be 10 damage there. And then 10 damage there. And I couldn't really ask for more. He won't even be able to attack this turn. So just get rid of that. And then doing 10 damage there. So we didn't need the health. Nor did we need to use the focus. Okay. Let's do this. Then do this. Reroll an odd here. No, that rerolled all my unused dice. That's not what I meant to do. Should I do focus now? Yeah. Just get a bunch of 6s. I mean, that just worked really nicely. It didn't get you a one-turn kill, but it made it very difficult for the opponent to possibly do anything. Curse an enemy, roll unused. I think this would be a good point to re-roll everything. Boomerang is not something we would want. 3 damage, inflict poison. So I've had this tabula rasa as an option for a while now. And yeah, let's take this empty slot. I've been leaning on that very heavily when I really shouldn't have been. Let's see. Upgrade empty slot +1. Were any of these upgraded? No. So somehow the upgrade did go away on some of these. But not all of them, so I don't know how this system really is working. But no. The mess up here, obviously, is when you are going to like have something like this that you just can't really use on yourself. And if you're going to use it on yourself, you're going to have to be incredibly careful. Let's see. Let's just roll this. 3 shields. This, and then this. Now we have Boomerang instead of Boomerang. 2 really bad cards. Like I really should have kept Tabula Rasa way more. Most of the runs in this game have been around the idea of they've been built around the idea of setting up for your boss fight and getting almost always stronger towards the boss fight. Well, in this case, I needed to hold back because now I've made myself weaker as we're approaching the boss fight. Let's see. So we got something new that we have no idea what that is. That was one of the boomerangs. As long as he keeps on confusing me, it really is not a good point to use focus. Let's just do this. I guess you have a good excuse at the moment, though, as to why you would be hurting yourself. Alright, let's just try and re-roll for low numbers. Yeah. My health is way too low. Okay. Do that too. Yeah, and you're not getting a full health refill until you're done with this whole floor. Empty slot being turned into the enchanted bolt. Sure. We'll take it since we really don't have another option. And now we are in just a really bad position. Yeah. Really bad position with 2 fights, and we may just lose completely here. Okay, got our limit break. guess if you mostly would be trying to reroll odd things to see if you can get a 2. Okay. 4 shield. Makes sense. 4 damage. Snapdragon gaining 2 magic doesn't mean anything. 4 damage here. So I'm hoping he just can't really do much damage to me. Which, that doesn't seem to be the case. Again, I guess you would want to see if you can get a 2. Which, okay, that was a mistake. Do 3 damage here, or do 2 damage and 1 damage to yourself, or roll a 6. 5 damage and burn. Another 5 damage and shock. Probably lost here, but I do think there's probably a chance that I could try this again. Right, so if we go back to the title, play, and continue, try again. Mostly though, we're gonna have to get really, really lucky. And I question a lot on that. Okay. Give us an option. Okay. Well, that seems like that may have worked fairly well. Plus, next turn we could probably do a focus. But just hope he doesn't have a vanish on me. Because if he does vanish, then I can't do a focus. Yeah. Using any piece of equipment where we roll random dice. Burn a couple dice. Add 5 shield. Return the dice. Return the dice. Drain 2 health. Do we have anything better than drain 2 health? No. doesn't really create the best situation, certainly, because we still have like a major problem in that now we've got to take on the Paper Knight with 12 health. But I guess if we can do a bunch of fire damage since she's weak to fire, that might work fairly well too. Let's see. 5 shield to start with. Drain 2 health. Drain 2 health. Then in the turn, 7 damage with the shield. Do we have an odd number at all? 4 shield that way. Reroll, reroll. 4 shield that way. Reroll. Six damage. More. So shield just really helping me. Of course. I guess the question here is, would we win at the moment? I think we can win if we can just get an even number. Which 3 rerolls probably would give you an even number. Yeah. So we're just pathetically struggling. If there's anything to buy here, it is health. But that then does put us in a pretty decent position to win here. Okay. Even there. Even there. We've got some shocks here we might want to do next turn. If we can get an odd number, that would be great. Or we can take 5 shield. 3 times the number of dice next turn. Which, if I can activate focus, which I probably should be able to activate focus. Just, I guess, comes down to how many dice is he capable of locking on me. Almost certainly, though, we're going to finish this episode and there isn't going to be any, like, big twist. So we could do 6 and 6 right now with focus. Or we could try and re-roll. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, was a 5. And then we could do this. And then, well, I hate to do this, but I'm going to pause the recording and take a little bit of a break, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to run off to the bathroom. Well, let's see. I guess we probably are going to win here. We just want to be somewhat cautious. Like, he could certainly lock a bunch of dice and then do a bunch of 3 damage. But he's probably not going to be able to pull that off. Meanwhile, I could, like, burn no more dice since I've already got burned 2 and he has only 2 dice. I could do 12 damage and then 6 damage to myself. It probably makes the most sense to simply inflict a shock and hope that that works. Like, ideally that would shock the dagger eyes. But yeah, that was not too terrible of an outcome. Then we can do 6 damage and burn the dice. Or we could try and re-roll. Let's see, do this. And then just try and re-roll, I guess, for another 6. And then just do this. And that gives us our full max health, an extra dice, and only leaves us with a slight issue in our setup. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do anything different. This boomerang we can use, I guess, at the very end, or if we want to get furies. Magic hat probably will work pretty well. Yeah. So unless we run into a boss that's just different, we probably have this in the bag. At the very least, we have like a full health situation and full focus situation, so if we do have to exit and like do this again, that would work fairly well. 6 and 6. Let's see. And then guess we'll re-roll for 3. Okay. Yeah, if anything, I guess we're just gonna have a whole bunch of 6s next turn, which makes it safe to do like this, and then do this again. And now we're gonna have like 12 6s. So it will be interesting, like, way to end this whole experience, in that we will like have the most amount of dice than we've ever had. She has this barbed spear, which could do at most 8 damage, and then 8 that does inflicts horrible side of stats effects for the sorrows. So yeah, we have Sting when you use your equipment. 3 inflict shock to yourself, reduced by 1 each time it triggers. Okay. So then, I guess your move here is that we would do this. Then do this. Then we'll do this and win. And certainly if that hadn't killed her, I could have then used Fury a second time to turn everything into 6s again, and that probably would have worked. Bravely done. How was that? Confusing but good, I think. I might have to make a few changes to my model dungeons though. Wait, do you have a model of me in this toy of yours? Yes, I made a doll out of toothpicks. She looms horrendously over everything. My darling, what a charming show of devotion. I suppose it is somewhat interesting to point out that at the end of the main content in this game, Lady Luck is shown to be this giant creature with just her upper torso coming out of the stage, the boss fight stage. So her being depicted now as the same size or almost the same size as the dice is out of scale, even if they were doing some kind of like weird forced perspective. There definitely was an implication that they were doing forced perspective in the main game and she was always giant and the dice were always tiny dice-sized people, and then I guess that means the minions are probably somewhat tiny too. Yep. But I guess they're breaking that thought or that logic here. Would you like me to animate her with my spirit so that you have a tiny lady luck to berate you in your own home? No, question mark?
Oh, no.
No, I suppose it would make others jealous and put strain on your friendship. Never mind. Maybe one day I'll do it anyway, just when you're least expecting it. See, that's just the end of everything. Like, so we get an extra animation here for what it's worth. What a triumph. Of course, I made it a little easier for you, tweaked the numbers a bit. Wouldn't want you stuck here forever. Not after all the trouble you caused last time. So now the game is telling you that they cheated in your favor. I don't know if I believe that to be true. Actually, I've been tracking the dice rolls. According to this napkin, the results show no sign of being anything other than the product of random chance. Of course, I could set up a dice rolling machine and change the chi squared p value to... I don't even know what chi squared is. Anyways, it has been surprisingly nice to have you around again. Yeah, one of the complaints certainly on Steam is that the game cheats and doesn't have random dice rolls. And sometimes I feel like that's true, sometimes I feel like it's not, so it probably is random. Again, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be random. The game should be cheating in your favor and giving you exactly what you need, so you win always. That way more than 6% of players would have made it to the Lady Luck boss fight in the main content. I've looked it up and apparently I, quote, missed you. Is that the right phrase? And given my magnificence, I can only assume that you missed me desperately as well. Now, are there any closing statements, things you want to say before you head back to the surface? Apologies you want to make about the state you left the place in last time. Thank goodness that's over. Pre-order my book. Thanks for watching. Please follow me on Pentagram. That's an interesting fake online social media service. Although I'm surprised there isn't a service called Pentagram for like Wiccan people, witches and things like that. I guess she is a witch, so it would make sense for her to be on Pentagram. New curse reviews every week. It was weird to be back, says the robot, but it was really good to see everyone. Yeah, I really missed you all, says the inventor. I knew it. Should we do it again without any 80 lay akale? I mean, maybe next time we could just go for brunch. Well, I'm not the overt and groveling thank you. It's not the overt and groveling thank you I was hoping for, my darlings. Anything else you want to say to me, specifically your omnipotent benefactrix? For example, about how much you appreciate me? Actually, I do have something to say. I noticed your accounting department consists of only one easily bamboozled baby squid who has already gotten ink on several of my clients' invoices. Our late fees are 8% per week, so you probably want to use your omnipotent benefactrings to keep on top of that situation. No. And I love you 8% more every week as well. Now have a wonderful week, and do pop back every now and then to say hello and refresh our experience of harrowing defeat. Good night, everyone. Goodbye, good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've had such a nice time here in Dicey Dungeons, and we hope that you had a nice time too. This is probably smacks into the face of the problem with this game, is I didn't have a nice time in Dicey Dungeons. The main characters really didn't have a nice time, but the player wouldn't have a nice time. The game is too hard. It's just too hard. It goes on way too long in unimportant aspects like these cutscenes, and it repeats itself in unimaginative ways in the actual gameplay sections. So nothing new unlocked. There's nothing else to say there. I would assume that the credits for this part are pretty much the same credits for every other part, but maybe there is a slightly different credits for these DLCs. You'd really have to just scroll over this to find out if that was the case or not. And see, I could certainly dismiss some of my complaints about this game a little bit easier if there weren't just so many people that worked on this game as far as beta testers and having voiceovers, making gibberish voice acting, and getting help from a lot of people, and having it, at least in the main group here, 6 people, which, yeah, that's just too many for the game to be still so incredibly imbalanced. I guess I could probably blame all of that on Terry Cavanagh and the programmer, because the art and animation people seem to have delivered way too much. If anything, the writing has delivered way too much. This music and sound design has delivered way too much. But yeah, this is kind of a great example of, you've got this small team and you would have needed a better production producer, which there is no producer listed here at all, as far as the person in charge of making sure each employee produces about the same amount of content on about the same amount of quality. So yeah, to say the least, I'm just not thrilled with this experience. And at the risk of just repeating myself, that's all I can really say here, is that I kind of wish there was a challenge to defeat Lady Luck a second time, if not like on hard mode. But yeah, 2 of these elimination missions we were never able to defeat, and 2 of the bonus rounds I was never able to defeat. I did try them all, and then several of these achievements you're just not going to run into an opportunity to use unless you play the game multiple times in. This game, probably I've been playing for 60 to 80 hours, if I was to guess. Just to pick a number. And it really should have been a 25-hour at most experience. Yeah. The elimination round here, we don't even have a counter telling us how many times we've lost there. The bonus round here on this, we did look at this, didn't we? I'm not going to play it at this point, but yeah. Bonus round for the Jester would have had you keep a dice for the next turn, in this case. I probably just lost and then didn't continue. Yeah, 2 losses trying this bonus round, an untold number of times lost on that elimination round. And then just, yeah, massive amounts of achievements. The last achievement I got, specifically, that would have been the thing that would have pushed me towards continuing to play, was hard mode bonus round 4. So defeating 4 hard mode bonus rounds, and only 2.8% of players who are on Steam have done that. It's just ridiculously hard. If I was to go into like these mods and try and turn them off, I can't even do it with the controller. The controller is just broken. I don't think it would help me any. Like, turning off Reunion and Halloween Special is not going to make the game any easier. Turning off Victory or Frogurt or Plastic Shield is probably not going to help me either. So, yeah. This game, had it been way shorter, I definitely wouldn't have bred that familiarity that led to breeding contempt for this game. But at the end of the day, being done with this game now, just mentally and emotionally being done with this game, all I really do have is contempt, which really sucks because this kind of game, if it was like a mobile game or had like daily quests or something that you would see on cell phone games in particular to bring you back and get you playing several times a week, it had the possibility of being a good experience in that aspect, where it only took maybe an hour of your time and you played it once a week, and then you came back the next week and you played it some more, got some new puzzles, got some new challenges. But by just handing everything to you at front and then not really having a story narrative to pull you along, there is a story certainly, but it's not a great story that makes you want to keep on doing episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 6 of each character. We really get no characterization other than the most shallow stereotypes on the DICE characters anyways. And if you were going to try and compare this to something like Dungeons and Dragons, those kinds of games only really work because you're playing with your friends. A single player aspect of that wouldn't be that great. That's why there haven't been any like single player Dungeons and Dragons types games released in many, many years, or Might Magic type games released that were like that. At best, in base, the closest thing you have is something like Skyrim, and if you were going to compare this to Skyrim is way better. I don't even know if that is a fair comparison. But yeah, dice rolls almost always in video games are hidden. For them to be shown so flagrantly, you needed to really keep some amazing tricks up your sleeve with every new level to keep you interested. Anyways, I could probably go on, but I just don't have the energy even to go on. I'm so drained on this one, and I feel like I'll just start rambling, or already have started rambling. So that's going to be it for this series. I would say skip this one. It's just too difficult. If they modded it and made it 3 times as easier, then maybe there would be an argument to play it. If they could just speed up every animation, speed up all the cutscenes, speed up the levels, maybe there would be an argument there. But there's a real lack of polish on this game as it is. That's going to be it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. In addition to all of that, if you go to my main YouTube page, I have a playlist tab which has a playlist for every single game I've ever covered. So I would say go check out something like Binding of Isaac, or what is the other one? Rogue Legacy. Both of those games making a roguelite experience to improve with every victory your odds, compared to this roguelike, Like, experience that does not really do anything to improve your odds of winning after each victory. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.